As many folks know, I love Arch / Artix Linux. Heck, that's where I got the name of the channel from. However, in recent times, it looks like so many of the Arch-based distros are doing better than Arch itself has. And Arch Linux has built such a ecosystem. However, it looks like everyone else has just refined it, and perhaps even more. So here are a couple of things that Arch really did pretty well. They created a really good blueprint. They were a part of one of the more original distros when it came to creating a rolling release. Not only that, they created the Pacman package manager, which is pretty fantastic. The AUR, which works really well. And of course, the Arch Wiki was always that well-respected wiki that had a lot of info in it. Of course, their whole ecosystem is probably the greatest contribution to Linux overall. So many of the derivatives get their foundation from this. However, the derivatives have simplified a lot of the pain, I would say, with it. What I mean is there's been GUI installers created, sane defaults, hardware auto detection, gaming optimizations, and things that would take hours in the past now work on first boot. A question that nobody's expected is, if you even just look at the ProtonDB database, CachyOS has dethroned vanilla Arch for the top Linux gaming distro. It comes back to, has the student surpassed the teacher? Now, here I've just chosen 4 of them, and it's obviously 4+, and there's many more major distributions. Not to mention, of course, SteamOS also uses Arch. The funny thing is, each Arch distribution uses a different fundamental way on how they approach the topic, but as well as they each solve a different problem. So what I mean is, CachyOS has their optimizable kernel. They've got CPU optimized packages, often, which is why it tends to run a little bit faster and why their performance is even better. SteamOS is Arch but immutable, so it's image-based. You make a change on your gaming console, you reboot it, and the change is generally gone. Unless, of course, you've submitted those changes to the actual image. EndeavourOS is the closest you're going to get to pure Arch, made easier, but it's a bit of a middle ground between these two. You get easy installer, you get Pyro, you get NVIDIA scripts, and you get a good compromise. Garuda Linux, of course, came out with BTRFS snapshots. Their gamer tools are heavily themed distribution, especially their KDE edition. The whole vanilla Arch, the original, that whole total control, those minimal defaults that DIY everything or suffer everything. That's what started it all. We all know the secret weapon and the reason a lot of users use Arch-based is, of course, the AUR. 90,000 plus packages maintained by the community out of the box. And of course, all of these distros use these. So the case for the derivatives, the installer experience, I've spoken about it before, and it has absolutely become fantastic. Honestly, you can get Arch up and running quickly, reliably, without spending time typing terminal commands. Hardware detection is really great. Things genuinely now make sense, work just out of the box. Gaming out of the box now, things are so optimized, pre-configured wine on Steam and all of these things. It's just helped really propel Linux up to the top. For the bad rep that Arch sometimes gets for always breaking, a lot of these things include snapshots, Garuda, of course, as well. Break your system, you could just roll them back. If you need HIDPI support, keyboard navigation, CachyOS added these things. Accessibility is an important thing for folks, and the Arch Wiki unfortunately still treats it as something you configure after the install. There's been reports that there's up to 20% performance improvement. But here we always like to look at 2 sides to the story. So pure Arch still matters just as much. For Arch's value, it's the process, not the output. So skipping the process skips the education. So what I mean is, if you just jump straight into the deep end, you're not going to learn these valuable skills. You might not understand why there is things done certain ways. Why does Arch Linux use certain defaults? Why do you do these things certain ways? Why are you forced to learn configs and patches and all of these type of things? You do have more of a choice of choosing your display server, your init system. Not really anymore. It's basically system in normal Arch, unless you use something like Artix. Your bootloader. These are great, and you can build a system that is really truly yours. The performance is tunable. You could, of course, go in and install a different kernel and then just start performance optimizing it, but you could just do something else. Important to remember that there's a massive dependency risk. If Arch Linux ever dies, these other distros die along with it, unless they either migrate to something else or they fork it. The great thing is the pie gets bigger for everyone each time, because Linux adoption is going to grow from this. CachyOS is doing really well at the moment. It's been in the front light. I do want to say that just because you make something accessible, it doesn't mean you're dumbing it down, right? Only an expert can use a system that stays small. So what I mean by that is there must be a compromise between needing an expert to use something, a regular user, and an advanced user. So it's genuinely considered good engineering if you can use something that can cater to these different folks. Yeah. Arch needs all of this, and so does Linux. They don't need to compete. They can just collaborate. So yeah, what do you think about this topic? Do you think the student has outpaced the teacher? Or do you think the teacher is still outpaced the student? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and bye for now.